Hi, I'm Alix Paultre, editor-at-large with Microwaves and RF, and I'm here in Amsterdam at the Things Conference where we're talking about LoRaWAN solutions. And one of our first guests today is Brian Weldy. He's with Vutility. So how's it going, Brian? Welcome to the show. I'm glad to have you here.
Yeah, well, Alex, thank you so much for having me here. I'm glad to be here. I'm actually a senior advisor with the company Vutility. And as you mentioned, we actually make a electrical sub-metering device. I have here one in front of you. Show and tell is always nice to see. And this device simply clamps on a wire, and you can quickly and almost immediately monitor power. But it's more than just a power monitoring device. Sub-metering is a big thing right now with looking how facilities use power. This is actually an edge device. Kind of think about in the healthcare space, like an EKG, where I can get detailed power usage information to know what is going on with the facility, so I can be proactive in its usage.
Well, you mentioned medical and, EKG. Medical is an area with a lot of power consciousness. I mean, you got to really worry about power, both on the quality side and on the availability side, right?
Yes, absolutely. Power in a hospital is crucial because without power, a lot of systems and building equipment and medical systems will not properly function. And if there's any power quality issues, we have to maintain the integrity of the medical equipment so it doesn't malfunction, because obviously people's lives are at stake with medical equipment. So really in the healthcare space, having good, robust energy monitoring is important, much more than just simple a meter outside the building, but have detailed sub-metering inside the building so you be proactive on what's going on with the facility.
Well, obviously, the more of these you have scattered through the system, the more granular you can make your observations of the network performance, right?
Exactly. And what these have done significantly is made it really quick and inexpensive to install sub-meters at a grander scale. So where in the before you might have one or two sub-meters in a hospital, today you can have 100 of these sub-meters all the way through an elevator to an operating room to an imaging center area equipment. So now you have great visibility, and now you can start looking at patterns or problems that may be happening with your power to be proactive on addressing maintenance issues with your equipment.
Well, and it's interesting that you point out both the medical devices and the elevators and the infrastructure, because it's all part and parcel when it comes to power, right?
It is. You think about it. You think about healthcare. You think about a building. In a lot of ways, they're similar because you have an electrical power system, just like we have a nervous system. So it runs through the body, it runs through the building. So you're trying to monitor those systems and look for health concerns for your building, because your building operating well is important. So it's servicing the patient environment as well.
Well, you say healthcare, but I could see this being used in any type of a complex power management situation: smart facility, smart factory, smart home. I mean, anything where I've got to have a heat map of what's going on inside the building.
Absolutely, Alex. Anything that uses power, it can be down to a conveyor motor to anything that uses and consumes power. You clip one of these devices on, you can monitor what is going on. In fact, this device is actually being shown live right now at Sign, where there's display booth here at the event, at the Things Conference, so you can see one of these actually in practice.
Now, when you think about that, right, when you have that kind of a setup and you're entering into it, what would you say are the steps to set up this type of intelligent network within your facility?
Well, it always starts off with identifying that you have a need to do something more than you're doing now. For example, electrical demand charges are very high for facilities, so there's a lot of cost with that. So there's a cost motivation to be able to do something with having better data on your power usage. Also, with the cost of maintenance, the idea is, and actually in some cases, the shortage of maintenance technicians, if there's the ability to monitor things proactively, then you can dispatch them on a very proactive basis and be more predictive in your nature than simply responding to a problem you don't really know what you're responding to.
Got it. But then this gives you that. My first thought is that it's a wireless current sensor, but I understand it's more than just sensing the current that's going through it. It does more things to it.
Correct. Yeah, generally speaking, you need about 2,000 samples a second electrically to start to diagnose it, to see what's going on in a very detailed sort of way. So this device does that and captures that very detailed signal information of power usage, so you can be proactive with figuring out if there's a power usage anomaly, that then dispatch a maintenance technician to solve the problem.
Well, predictive maintenance, preventative maintenance, digital twins, that's really, really big.
Yes.
So this would tie right. So in other words,
Yes.
The data from this could go right to a digital twin and you know everything about the system.
Exactly. And what's exciting about LoRaWAN, what that's done is it's had the ability to put these sensors inside of an electrical panel, clip them on, does not require a power shutdown, and within minutes you're monitoring power, and you close the metal cabinet and the signal will go right through the cabinet to be picked up by the device.
So I mean, so the bandwidth that this is operating doesn't worry about the cabinetry and the like.
No, the beauty of the link budget, the ability to send the waves that are far, the whole idea of LoRaWAN can send the signal a very far distance in a building, so there's deep building penetration.
Of course, because it's the old televisions, the VHF, we forget about how that actually penetrated quite deeply into buildings.
Yes, and this does that.
Excellent. Were there any other aspects of this as you wanted to bring out for our audience? Cost, ease of use, whatever you'd like to bring up?
So to give you an idea on cost, the traditional sub-metering installation could cost you 5 times, maybe 10 times more than this, and take a lot more time. So you can install several dozen of these in just a day, where sub-metering, the traditional way of shutting off the power, hooking up a sub-meter device, could take several hours just to do one of them, plus a coordinated power shutdown, where you can install all of these live.
Just clip them on.
Clip and go.
That's interesting. So what kind of support do you offer your clients to help them integrate your solution into theirs?
Okay, so it is an engineered solution, meaning you buy the device, install it, you're going to have to bring it up to a gateway and ultimately to a platform. So you bring it up through that process to visualize that. So there's several companies that have platforms, and from there, a company called Intuitive NB, which uses this information digitally, shows it in a very graphical way to understand and see what you're doing, so you can understand, to see, to take action. So it's working with the Vutility to have a partnership, a partner that can help you install these and get them set up in a very quick time.
Very cool. Now, Brian, I see this device. I can picture that you're going to be expanding and have different devices of this nature. What's the next type of device that you're going to have in this family?
Great question. So this is the Volt Drop, which is right at the circle level I mentioned. But there's also a product called the Volt Drop, which is which monitors the entire power for the incoming power in all 3 phases, power quality, harmonics. So think about, there's an incoming power solution, and then there's a distributed power solution with this hot drop. So you have incoming power, you have how the power is distributed to the facility, and now you have a full picture around the power usage for that campus.
It's like a true heat map of the building.
Exactly.
Very cool. Now, this is your first Things conference, isn't it?
It is.
Tell us what you think of it.
Oh, this is amazing. It's so many smart, intelligent people around the whole area of IoT, which I've been talking about IoT for the last 10 years, Alex. And it's been neat to see that LoRaWAN has taken this to a whole nother quantum leap forward in the expansion capabilities. As you walk around the floor here, you meet so many interesting people who have solutions that I kind of think of it's sort of this World Expo of IoT. And it's fun to be here and participate in that. So I'm really enjoying it.
Well, and it makes a lot of sense when you think about it, because there are a lot of proprietary solutions out there for IoT, but LoRa is an open source solution. You can communicate with people in the infrastructure, exchange ideas. I think that aspect is also very empowering. What do you think about that part?
Oh yeah, it's very, very empowering. So it's the idea that I like the sense of the community of expertise coming to how they're developing all kinds of solutions that can be presented to a business to solve a particular problem or job to be done. There is not a one size fits all. There is, how does a business need to operate to have its competitive advantage? What tools and equipment are available to do that? And this conference will help identify those central solutions that help maximize the potential of businesses.
So, then before I let you go, do you have any final observations, advice for our audience, tips about the tech, whatever you'd like to leave us with?
Well, I think the key is to be very dynamic in learning, be teachable, because there's new technology always coming around the corner. Experiment, try, and then figure out these scaling solutions that make sense to put through your organization. I think scaling those things today is much easier than ever in the past, and take advantage of that journey.
Very cool. So, hey, Brian, thank you very much. And we're going to let you go, because unfortunately we've got a lot of people that we're going to be bringing on. And in fact, we've got Satyajit Sinha from IoT Analytics coming on after us. But I'm really glad you had the time to come and talk to us today.
Great, Alex. Thank you very much.
The pleasure's mine.
All right, thank you.